Hey, it's me, MLB. Here is chapter 40 of BNHA Second Generation, and this one is titled Kujin Akuto. Wonderful, he said. Genji, he addressed Chi, you will be with Osana. Chi looked up at a young girl with bright eyes, and she gave him a bashful look and squished her arms against her breasts to make them appear bigger, flirtatiously batting her eyes at him as she bit into her bottom lip. Hey, she said softly. Chi grunted in reply. Rana, the manager addressed Ginny. You'll be with Jinko. Ginny looked up at an older man with a kind smile, and she smiled happily at him. And Sokin, the manager said, I'll get you to help me with the jewels, so you can see where we keep them and all. Soshi nodded. Well, good luck today, everyone. That's the end of our staff meeting this morning. He smiled at the interns. If you need me, I'll be in my office. He then turned to Soshi and beckoned the young student to follow him as he left the room. So, Kishona High? Asana asked in a flirtatious voice. Is everyone at your school as hot as you? Chi didn't even react. He just looked away and then looked back at her. So what are we doing today? He asked in a straightforward voice, as if to say, I'm not interested in anything you have to say unless it's work-related. Asana was taken aback by his non-response to her very overt flirting, but she did her best to recover. I'm on necklaces today. Come and I'll show you which is my favourite. Chi shoved his hands into his pockets and sauntered after her, with Ginny watching on with amusement. Well, that girl certainly likes Chi, but he definitely is not interested in return, she thought with an internal smirk. Good luck to her, though. Rana, was it? Jinko asked with a pleasant smile. I'm on rings today. Come and I'll show you the stand. Oh, exciting, let's go! Ginny replied with a bright smile, following him out of the staff room. Outside the building, in the back alley, a cloaked, shadowy figure could be seen approaching the back door. His fingers fiddled with the lock until the door cracked open, and he let himself inside, then closed the door silently behind him. Have you found anything on Kujin? Hiyoko asked Kana through his feather, as the latter paced back and forth, holding the laptop in hand and scrolling through archives of half-completed criminal cards. Kana shook his head. Let me have a look. I might be able to find something. You write up your reports for the students while I'm looking. I've pretty much finished mine. Kana nodded again and walked over to Hiyoko to hand him the laptop, but just before Hiyoko could take it from his hands, he pulled it back a bit and shook his head. Kiss, he signed, giving his winged boyfriend a sly grin. Oh, so now I have to kiss you before I get anything? Is that how it's going to be? Hiyoko asked as he leaned in and pecked Kana on the lips. Yes, Kana signed. I refuse to go without kisses. Good thing you're so cute, Hiyoko replied, taking the laptop from his man. You can have anything you want from me, since you're cute. You are teasing me, Kana signed with a smirk. Do not do that. His eyes flashed with desire, and for a second there was an immense amount of sexual tension in the room. Just wait for tonight, Hiyoko replied with a smirk, looking back at the laptop as Kana rolled his eyes with delight. The winged one chuckled when he saw the look on Kana's face, and then went back to scrolling through the list of incomplete cards while Kana started writing his reports. It had only been a few seconds when Hiyoko called for Kana's attention. Hey babe, think I might have found something. Kana looked up and then walked over, doing the sign for what? I've been looking for cards that haven't had a reasonable cause to be discontinued. You know, like the ones where the supposed criminal has been found not guilty or has passed away. Those I can understand why they were discontinued, but there have been a few that have just stopped for no reason. Okay, what is the one you are interested in? Kana signed, walking around behind Hiyoko and looking over his shoulder. See with this one, it looks like there's been a bit of a war of what to write. You can see here in the name section the police officer has tried to write a name, but then it looks like they've been made to write a different name. Kana nodded in acknowledgement. And look at these petty crimes: stealing, being on the scene for multiple fights where people have said that this person was involved, but they couldn't tell how. You think it is Kujin? Kana signed in question. Well, I'd like to pay him a visit and have a chat. Or better yet, I've got a copy of his ID card here, so I'll fax it through to Mr. Dofu, see if he recognises him. That is a good idea, Kana signed. Okay, give me a minute and I'll fax it to Mr. Dofu. If it's Kujin, then we'll go and pay him a visit. Kana nodded and walked back over to the desk to keep writing. Let me know when you're ready and I'll come with you, he signed. Hiyoko nodded, and then stood up with the laptop and walked out of the room and down to the hall to the fax machine, where he pulled his phone from his pocket with one hand. Dialing Mr. Dofu's number, he waited for the owner to pick up. "Morning, sir. This is Hiro Kondo here," he greeted politely. "I have a picture of someone I want to send to you. I'd like for you to try and identify them for me if you can." There was a pause as Mr. Dofu replied. "Okay, wonderful. Please hold while I connect this laptop and I'll send you the picture," Hiyoko said. He very quickly plugged everything in and then asked for Mr. Dofu's fax number and punched it into the machine once the owner had replied with the number. "Okay, that's sending now," Hiyoko said, waiting for the image to be sent through to the jeweler store owner. "Let me know when it comes through." There was another pause as Mr. Dofu watched the image come through on his fax machine, and then there was a sound of affirmation. "Oh?" Hiyoko asked with surprise. "So you do recognise that person? Can you please give me their name?" Another pause. "Kujin Akuto. Right, your ex-manager," Hiyoko confirmed. "Thank you, sir. We'll go and pay him a visit." "Ooh, I think we have our man. Stay tuned for the next chapter, chapter 41, coming tomorrow."